Hello folks, wanted to introduce you all to one of my favorite plants in the garden. I referenced it in video 1, but I wanted to give you all a quick update while I had a moment to show you what she looks like in bloom. This is bee balm, Monarda fistulosa in this case. Now there's 2 or 3 different kinds, but fistulosa, the reason I grew that is because it's native to my area. But take a look at those little blossoms. The color varies from plant to plant. They typically come in hot pink like this, sometimes bright red, like a bit like this. And they'll also come in pale lavender and white. They range from, in American Ease math, 2 to 5 feet at the highest. This variety I would say is about 3 to 3.5 feet at the stretch. It's about the mid-range for what the plant typically gets. They are wonderful medicine plants in that they make a wonderful tea. They have this beautiful bergamot with a little hint of oregano kind of smell, and they used to be used as tea. It's called horse mint as well. I definitely recommend growing this for pretty much every pollinator in your garden. The pistil, the sort of straw-like, funky little Dr. Seuss style of these particular blossoms is very good for hummingbirds. And then, of course, they're also good for the bees love them, thus the name bee balm. Hi, kitty. That's not a bee balm, but I grew that too. That's my friend of the garden, Sekhmet the cat. But yes, this is bee balm. I would definitely recommend growing this anywhere and everywhere you can. It is built for full sun, but it can do part sun fairly well. As long as it gets at least 6 hours a day of direct sun, doesn't matter what time of the day. But it needs at least 6 hours a day to be able to fully bump out and function like this. As far as the feeding needs go, like its nutrient needs and stuff like that, it's a fairly medium feeder. Once it's in the ground and once it is set, you can pretty much set and forget it, so to speak. Now there's a dwarf variety that's also about 2 feet tall. You can see in my part 2 video, when I'm showing you the lavender, I hadn't noticed this before, but Mom had a dwarf bee balm, a pale pink variety that's about 2 feet tall at the stretch. I am selling the seeds and plantlings of these live in my shop, and I'll also be selling tea made out of the leaves of these plants once the grow season has concluded, which is for my area October. So tune in for that, and in a few days I will do another quickie video on one of my other favorites. But for anybody who's starting out a pollinator garden, this is absolutely the first one that I would recommend.